Today, we are here in New York to announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Casa Nostra. The men and women up here standing with me represent a small portion of the leadership team that brought profound justice in an era that needed it more than any. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today.
What's going on, friends and family? I am your host, Terrence Manning. This is another episode of My Thoughts Uncut. Today we're going to be talking about the FBI investigating the NBA, specifically Chauncey Billups and 30 other NBA players may be involved. This is crazy. I'm not sure why these NBA players are doing this. I'm not sure for how long, but we're going to find out together. Let's get to it.
Seems to me like this is more of a mob story that found some NBA players and a coach, former player, who were playing along. I mean, literally put out as like bait in the water to draw suckers in from all across America. But millions of dollars involved. What do you think?
Well, I do think that they said it was a multi-year operation. I like one of the names was the operation called Operation Royal Flush. Sometimes they get kind of creative there. I thought Christopher Raya, who is the
that's James Bond,
the deputy director, I can't remember his exact title. The way he laid it all out was very impressive, and clearly they had great coordination. They had no leaks, and this is a story, this is one for the ages. And we have great guests for you. Clay Travis, Donna Rotuno, former FBI supervisory agent James Gagliano, and Jim Gray. Thank you all for being here. Donna, let's maybe just go to you first on the legal front, since you were there right before this press conference. What did you take away? Big surprises? Anything?
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of big surprises. Frankly, that sounded like we were watching a movie. I mean, just the amount of people involved, the extent at which they went to perpetrate this, from the fraud to the cameras under the tables to cameras in chandeliers to, it really did sound like we were listening to Goodfellas or something. It was really quite extraordinary. I think we have to remember there's two totally separate indictments here, and although they came out on the same day and there's some overlap, we have one dealing with NBA betting and then we have one dealing with crime families and poker games. And so there really are two separate issues to discuss here. And, they happen to come out on the same day, but they are two separate indictments, and we have to look at them separately, because the NBA betting, although they didn't talk about it as much, I think that's going to have a larger impact on society as a whole than even the poker games involving certain people and certain groups. But the betting has an implication on many people who bet on online gambling, platforms, and the trust that people have for regular fans. And I'm sure Clay will talk about this, but regular fans of the NBA, people who love sports, people who want to watch sports, people who want to believe that the game is not rigged. These have major implications.
Yeah. Let's give everybody a crack at the apple, and then we'll dive further in, Donna. Well done. James, what did you hear for the past 45 minutes?
It's crazy because people, I know, friends and family, colleagues, they always say, oh, it's rigged, sports is rigged, and it's clearly rigged. The mafia is involved. This is straight up from a movie. And then Terry Rozier, I don't know why any NBA players would get into something like this, but let's just focus on Terry Rozier right now. He's played I think he's played 10 years in the NBA, and that is the maximum amount of seasons you need to have the full extent of I believe the maximum amount of pension for his retirement. I know different sports is different, but I think it's 10 seasons is required to earn the maximum amount for his retirement to get his pension benefit. So not only you're playing in the NBA and you're still making incredible money compared to the average person in the world, especially in the US, but you're getting a pension that's, maxed. And then you can retire and then go into something like a NBA analyst or NBA TV or ESPN or NBC NBA. Because like you can literally parlay that to something else and have a second career. But why go for the quick money? I never get it. And this guy's making millions of dollars. He's made over 150 million in his career. Yes, I know he has to pay his manager and his agent, all that stuff. Yeah, oh, cool. But that's still a hell of a lot of money. Oh man, these guys. And Chauncey Billups too.
Bill, I have to say, I think the lead was buried. I mean, they're going to show pictures of Jones and Rozier and Billups and the NBA logo because obviously that's what kind of sucks everybody in where you go, wow, these are rich people.
This hits the NBA hard.
And they were involved in an illegal gambling activity. Here's the buried lead. It's the fact that the mob is back. We've long thought of La Cosa Nostra, the five families of New York, and I worked on the Gambino squad when I was an FBI agent, as being on the way out. Well, 3/5 of them, only the Lucchese's and the Colombos are sitting down right now saying, how did we not get a piece of this? But this is a fascinating case.
Wow.
And 31 subjects in one of them and 6 in the other. This is going to be an interesting case to follow going forward.
Jim Gray, thank you for being here. The NBA cooperated. That was one of the last questions that we had there. And you know, there's so many strings to pull. The sweater could unravel pretty quickly. Your takeaway?
Well, all of these sports leagues, and in this instance the NBA, are dependent on the games being real, not being fixed. Once you lose the confidence of the public that the games are not real and that they can be thrown, then you have just a huge issue. And that's the biggest concern here. When you have a current NBA player who's involved, and Chauncey Billups now, not accused of throwing games or doing anything to rig that game, but playing in poker, it just eats at the credibility and the integrity. And it's very dangerous and very problematic.
Yeah. Clay, your take?
Two things. One, I bet there's some guys watching us right now who said, I knew I wasn't that bad at poker, I mean, the details here. This sounds like, I think Donna said it, a Hollywood movie in the rigged nature of the way the mafia was taking advantage of these guys. I mean, I jotted.
You got to think too, this might take a hit on people gambling and betting on at least the NBA. It probably have a decline on certain sports betting apps, DraftKings, FanDuel, the other ones. So this is going to be a big hit because if people are rigging games, they're leaving early, faking injuries. It's going to be a domino effect.
Down. They called the quarterback, the guy sitting at the table who was signaling cards. They had the face cards, which were the athletes potentially drawing in these gamblers. And then in particular, Jess Tisch, who was with the New York Police Department, signaled out Terry Rozier. I jotted this down, guys. Told everybody he was going to leave the game early, left after 9 minutes. $200,000, she said, was wagered on the under. That is, that he's not going to be able to achieve whatever the prop bets were on that particular game. And then she said,
oh man, this is bad. This is bad. There's going to be so many people. Oh man.
The proceeds were delivered to his house where they counted the cash. Now, $200,000, guys, sounds like a lot of money to normal people. He's making $26.6 million this year, Rozier is. He's made in his career $160 million.
So was 10 million short,
mind-numbingly stupid. He may be in prison for years now, but the dollars at stake here are a pinprick of what he made almost per game.
We're going to see what Mr. Cash Patel says. Oh, man, this is crazy.
Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Cosa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today. The charges and the arrests that were taken down across this country range from wire fraud, money laundering, extortion, robbery, illegal gambling. This FBI will leave no room for any perpetrator of crime across this country. You hear a lot about our work of defending the homeland and crushing violent crime. Well, this work is also representative of a colossal portion of the FBI's mandate to keep America safe and to keep our entertainment industry fair and secure. The men and women that are standing up here today worked tireless hours, days, months, and years. And the fraud is mind-boggling. It's not hundreds of dollars. It's not thousands of dollars. It's not tens of thousands of dollars. It's not even millions of dollars. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery across a multi-year investigation.
God,
and we
man.
could not have done it without our interagency partners that are before us today. The NYPD.
You got to know someone had to blow the whistle on this. They had to squeeze somebody, and then they just gave up the whole operation. This has been going on for years. And if I was any of those if I was FanDuel, DraftKings, any of those betting companies, I'll be pissed because they're gonna take a hit, at least with the NBA. And now, who knows what about other sports, team sports, NFL? Everybody thinks the NFL is rigged. So, and why would you risk freedom for just $200,000? If allegedly for Terry Rozier, like that's pennies to him. For us, average, hey, $200,000 is a lot, but for him to risk it, if you're gonna do something that stupid, at least risk it for something major. You risk it for $200,000. I don't understand. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you like the video. Like, subscribe for that YouTube algorithm. Hit that notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.